Of course, Plato was writing at a time that was very different from ours, but his challenge still holds.
Yeah, it's not that different, actually. I mean, you tell me when we...
Yeah, keep going,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the fact that the founding texts of the Western philosophical tradition, Plato's Republic, provides the most powerful indictment of not just democratic practices, but the possibility of democracy. And he argues that every democratic experiment, every experiment in which those Sly Stone called everyday people attempt to govern themselves, will result in tyranny because there's too much unruly passion and pervasive ignorance among the demos, among everyday people. See, I come from a people, a black people, who have suffered in forms of being terrorized, traumatized, and stigmatized in the name of majority rule. So democracy cannot be simply majority rule. If it was majority rule, black folk could easily have remained enslaved to Jim Crow. It was not democratic processes. Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation was dictatorial. It was not democratic. See, Brown v. Board in 1954 for school integration came from a counter-majoritarian institution called the Supreme Court. It didn't come from the majority. If the majority of Americans were to vote in 1954 for school integration, it never would pass. What's fascinating about my own tradition, Martin Luther King Jr. and Fannie Lou Hamer and the others, the radical Democrats coming from the chocolate side of town, coming from beneath American democracy, coming from the enslaved and the Jim Crow and the Jane Crow, is that we still held on to notions of democracy, but they were democratic critiques of the truncated democratic practices in America. So we're still wrestling with Plato's challenge. Plato's challenge will never go away, will never go away, because the fascist possibilities of any democratic experiment are always there. I don't care